Hi, I'm Ryan, team leader and the master's program head at Bundang branch. This is my vlog for C2 Eagle lesson 8. So this lesson starts to talk about the topic of Harlan, Kentucky, which Gladwell introduces uh, as an example of this experiment conducted by University of Michigan, I think. And he goes a lot into talking about cultures of shame versus cultures of guilt and honor and stuff like that. And it's all part of his larger thrust in this section of the book to show how your environment and your upbringing and your cultural background play a larger role in success than perhaps innate talent or genius does. So on the previous two lessons, I had my kids start to do a lot of research on another culture, like the life of a kid their age in another country. So how long the kid has to go to school, what ages they go to school, what sort of things they do for fun, all that kind of stuff. Um, and then in the second class, because the previous two lessons were paired, they split the chapter. So in the second of those classes, they had to come and present their findings. They had to do a PowerPoint about the day in the life of a kid from that culture. So what I'm going to have them do is actually continue with that in this lesson, and they're going to have to use the information that they researched to perform a role play of a day in the life of a kid in their assigned culture. But we're also going to work it into a larger discussion about the topics in this lesson. So we're going to have a big discussion about honor and what it is. I think the best thing to do for the teacher is probably prep with a lot of examples of media cards from different historical cultures, like in the past. Give kids a lot of examples nowadays of, if your friend pushed you, would you push him back? Why would you have to push him back? What would the other kids say to a boy if a boy started crying? Why would they say that? Those kind of things. You can start off really small, and by building up with really tiny discussion questions, you can actually work up to, I think, a decent conversation about really vague concepts like honor. And then maybe try to hit at the divide between like guilt cultures and shame cultures, which is an artificial divide and doesn't really hold up under scrutiny, but they don't know that. And you can sort of play off the East versus West. And then you can have the kids classify their own cultures that they've been doing research on as either guilt cultures or shame cultures, or as maybe not fitting into that divide neatly at all. And then they'll have to explain why and stuff like that. And so their project is going to be a role play based on their culture, and they're going to have to incorporate elements of guilt and shame into it, and they're going to have to show how an average person from that culture would be able to succeed versus how an average person from their culture, so middle upper class modern soul, is able to succeed. So each group will be doing 2 role plays with maybe 3 or 4 scenarios in each role play, depending on how many groups and how many kids you have. So it'll be the same problem or the same topic, and they'll do a role play with a kid in their assigned culture and a kid in their real culture, modern soul. So that's my plan, and I will let you know how it goes. Good luck.